very fond of telescopes. It's just a reminder of my father and the good times that we used to have. The telescope's just another way that I look at him being a scientist and the brilliant man he was. At night, we would go outside and look at the stars, and he would tell me the different constellations, help me learn them. When there were meteor showers, he'd come and wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning and take me outside, and we'd just stare and watch the meteor showers for hours. Just me and my dad outside, wrapped up in blankets. It was just a phenomenal feeling, just good father-daughter time for us. The best father I could have ever asked for.
Yeah, growing up, I was pretty typical. Played a lot of sports growing up, played basketball, played football, played baseball, ran track. I'm quiet on the phone, I'm awkward on the phone. I have always preferred to text or to talk in person.
I'm a cowboy, I guess, and I'm a child of the mountains. I recently took a trip out on the prairie, and it was pretty, but I'm a child of the mountains, and I need mountains around me. Every morning I can get up and watch the sun come up over this mountain to the east. It's a beautiful mountain. And watch the sun go down in the west over another pretty mountain. And so I'm not much into technology. As a blacksmith, all your problems can be solved with a bigger hammer, more heat and a bigger hammer. And so I'm not much of a technology guy, and I never have liked texting, and since that day I've liked it even less.
I text often, daily, keep in touch with friends and family.
The car doing the texting was going this direction. The two Thiokol engineers were heading out this way, and as they passed, they brushed each other, which spun the little blue car with the Thiokol engineers, spun it around this way into the path of an oncoming pickup.
There's about a 15 or 16 mile stretch of Highway 30 going to Logan, and from the time we started on that stretch of road headed towards Logan, the driver ahead of me was distracted. I did notice that. He crossed over the center line multiple times.
It was early in the morning. It was still fairly dark outside, and it was raining pretty bad. And on my way to work, I'm texting and reading messages, and I go across the center line and I hit another car. I don't remember what I was texting. I don't remember what the message said. That's how important it was.
And I saw him cross over the center line, and at that moment, things kind of go into slow motion, and you could just see that, and I thought, man, this is gonna be bad.
I remember the sound of the cars hitting, glass breaking, brakes and tires squealing.
He just sideswiped it and sent it into a skid, and I had the definite recollection of thinking to myself that, I knew right then that I was gonna collide with that car, and I just thought, oh, this is gonna be bad. I knew right then and there, and the question in my mind was, how bad was it gonna be? And my truck hit the passenger's side of the car and basically scooped the car up and carried it off into the ditch with us as we were, I had braked and was trying to get stopped and avoid it, and obviously I couldn't. My pickup went halfway through that car.
I got out of my car, I ran back towards the accident, and there was a man on the phone. I heard him say that there were two men in the car that weren't breathing.
The two people that were killed were inside the blue car. This other one shows what the car looked like after the accident.
I look at that picture, is all I can think about is those families, those two men. And while I was driving, I decided that texting and driving was more important to me than those two men were to their families. And how selfish that was of me to make that decision to text and drive. Knowing every day that you killed two people is one of the hardest things that you could live with.
I have night terrors all the time about my dad's car accident that come in waves of, it can be just me standing on the side of the freeway where it happened, just watching the accident happen and not being able to move. I can't go try and stop the accident from happening. I can't go see if my father's okay. I can't save my father. I'm just standing on the side of the road. I can't do anything. Two, I've been Reggie. This is the one texting while driving that hits the car. Just being the one that causes the accident. And two, I've been the driver of the truck that T-boned my dad. Just sitting in the seat, just killing my own father.
Ended up with some herniated discs in my back, and my knees took a pretty big beating in the dash, and you know how much of the damage to them was from the accident, I don't know, but horseshoeing's a very physical occupation. It's hard on your back anyway, and to suddenly end up with some herniated discs, you know, your life as a horseshoer is over.
It's been almost 7 years in September, and it is still very difficult for me. That accident was preventable. There's no other way to look at it. Put my phone away, and I saved those two men's lives. And it's that simple. It's that simple for me now, looking back. And when I speak to others, I share the same message. I say, now it's that easy for you going forward to save someone's life. You put the phone away when you drive, and you're safer behind the wheel, and everyone else is safer on the road around you. I want people to look at me and look at what I did and what I caused and say, I don't want to be that guy.
First time I saw Reggie in court, my feelings was just sheer hatred. I was appalled at the fact that this kid my age had killed my dad, taken him away from me.
On my sentencing date, and the families had the chance to get up and address me and speak to me. And
all I could do was just look at him and hate him and wish how much he would die, or that it was him that was dead instead of my dad.
Megan got up and she talked about her wedding. And she had just gotten married, and she talks about how her father wasn't there to walk her down the aisle. And she looked at me and she said, because you took that from me. And she was absolutely right.
I would like to think that my dad is somewhere in the universe. I go outside at night, and sit on my balcony when I'm really upset. I stare at the sky, and whenever I'm super upset, I always see a shooting star. And I like to think that that's my way, or my dad's way, of trying to communicate with me. I felt that my dad would not have wanted me to be mad at him for the rest of my life, and that I knew my dad had forgiven him. I knew that, and that he would want me to try and move on and forgive him and even get to know him.
Forgiveness that's something that I see from Megan. I see that for forgiveness. I feel it. I'm grateful for it.
I reached out to Reggie to tell him, I forgive you. My dad forgave you. I want to help you through your, trying to make a difference in this whole thing.
I was once told that to be a good member of society, you have to give back more than you take. I can never give back those two men's lives, ever.
I would just like to say, for anybody out there who has a cell phone, focus while you're driving, pay attention while you're driving, don't take your eyes off the road while you're driving. Things can happen so quick that it'll change your life forever.
I will say it over and over and over again. Don't text and drive. That it can't wait.
I would tell America to please don't text and drive. How many other people are going to have to be killed? How many other people are going to be left like my sister Debbie?
It's just nuts. It's crazy, I don't know why people don't want to talk to each other anyway.